25 aspirants have already deposited their documents at Elections Cameroon, seeking to replace President Paul Biya, and President Paul Biya himself seeking to maintain the status quo within the 25 aspirants. The kicker here is that 2 aspiring candidates have deposited their documents for one political party, that is the CPDM party. We have Thierry Lona, we have Leona, and we also have President Paul Biya, whose document was deposited by the Secretary General of the CPDM. Candidates aspiring to become aspiring to become the contender for the 2025 presidential election have until Monday, the 20th of July 2025, to deposit their documents at Elections Cameroon. At this time, Elections Cameroon is not reviewing documents to see whether they meet the criteria or not to be actually allowed to participate for the election. They are at the receiving stage. That is a stage where they receive the document and acknowledge receive. And that is why anybody can go to Elections Cameroon as of Monday to deposit his or her document, whether they meet the criteria or not, whether they have paid the 30 million caution or not. Because there is a debate, as many have been asking, why is it that everybody who have deposited the documents, is it everybody who have deposited the documents have actually paid the 30 million caution? The annals about paying of the 30 million caution lies solely as of now the discretion of the aspirant, but the law states that your file must be complete. For your file to be accepted, it must be complete. So ELECAM is collecting, and after the 20th deadline, ELECAM will review the file and see which of the files did not meet the criteria. The 30 did not pay the 30 million caution, did not actually have representative at the level of the council or a councillor, or did not actually have those who can give them legitimacy to run, and actually did not meet the criteria. The parties that actually will meet the criteria, their lists will be announced, tentative lists will be announced. Those who are rejected will have the Constitutional Council to plead their case as to why they think their candidacy should be accepted. And once the ruling is given, which is known as a pre-electoral petition process, once the ruling is given, the final list of those who participate for the 2025 presidential election will now be published in August. Will now be published. Once it is published, the candidates will still not be given the permission to actually carry out a full-scale campaign. The text and the law, electoral law, gives campaign to begin only the 2 weeks ahead of the presidential election, and campaigns are expected to end at midnight, the 11th of October 2025. Now, as we inches towards the presidential election, at the heart of the cry of the election, it is the debate what needs to be done such that the peace-loving people of the Northwest and the Southwest region can enjoy the franchise to cast their ballot to the choice presidential candidate. The conflict in the Northwest and Southwest region has been on for quite some long time now. 2016, 17, 18, 19, almost 8 to 9 years. The issue about voting has been the center theme. Some opposition parties are crying that it is because of the conflict in the Northwest and Southwest region. That is why they don't have their majority that they used to have at the level of the parliament, also at the level of the Senate, because they didn't have the opportunity to have their campaigns in the Northwest and the Southwest region. The same thing also was seen at the Constitutional Council, where candidates who think that they were not favored for the election saw that they blamed it on the crisis in the Northwest and Southwest region, that the crisis in the Northwest and Southwest region is the reason why they had low performances. In fact, some even went as far as stating that there was no election in some areas of the Northwest and Southwest region. We cannot also refuse the fact that guns and bullets did not go out in 2018. On that famous day, guns and bullets were heard across some key areas in the Northwest and Southwest region. A case in hand is at Mount Carmel Junction, Moya, where those separatist fighters came out and actually attacked a convoy of Elections Cameroon or those observers moving. And this will probably be kind of a kicker where many Cameroonians are now asking the question, what needs to be done such that the people of the Northwest and Southwest region can have the right, the confidence, the safety, the security to quietly move and cast their ballot. Even as we speak, there are some people in the diaspora who probably do not understand the dynamic on the ground and who still believe that they have what they think is of the interest, which is not the case. Now, far from that, let us look at some realities. The opposition and the ruling party, as we move forward to the elections, it is time for us Cameroonians to keep away our biases and also our hate speech and look at the common ground where ideologies should be discussed and not personalities, where programs need to be talked about and not attacked on personalities. Over the years, we've had, and within the time frame, we've had people questioning legitimacy and age factor when elections is concerned. Let us be clear. The Constitution gives it that anybody can vie in for any position. There is no term limit, there's no age limit, which means as the Constitution says, anybody has the right and the power to contest for an election. So the point should not be on age factor. The point should be on what do you have to offer that can make many people come to you and vote for you. This is House of Commons with me, Mai Jarvis. Happy Sunday. If you are just joining us, you're watching House of Commons. In the studio, we are joined by a crew of panelists who will be here to dissect on our topic. We have two topics. The second topic is what needs to be done so that the peace-loving people of the Northwest and Southwest region cast their ballot. And also the first topic is aspirants have deposited 25 so far have deposited their document. Now what should voters consider as of now? In the studio we are joined by Mr. Elonge Ekalele, who is also someone that believes in the construction of our nation and believes that we as a people must set aside our personal differences and look upon the future of the nation and build a nation that will protect the interests of our generations to come and also promote our nation in respect of within the respect of the rule of law, and that the rule of law must be sacrosanct in developing a nation. He is of the opinion that for us to construct a nation, we must look at the things that are objective and focus on those things and shun away from the things that will bring division and hatred towards one another. Mr. Elonge Ekalele, welcome and thanks for joining us. Happy Sunday.
Letting me come into your studio, Mr. Jarvis. It will be a good discussion.
Thank you. The privilege is all mine, and welcome again welcome to the program House of Commons. For context, Mr. Elonge is actually visiting. You're visiting.
I'm from Kokobuma, so okay. I'm from my village.
Kokobuma.
So that's what I always say.
Yes, Kokobuma. And thank you for coming to Electoral. In the studio, we are joined by also Mr. Asia Bertrand, member of the civil society, and those who believe that we must construct a nation from a perspective that define us as a people, not define a privileged few or a privileged minority. I believe that the privileged minority should not be the one to determine the future of the underprivileged majority. He is also a teacher across some institutions in Douala. Welcome and thanks for joining us.
You are very right, Mr. Jarvis. It's my pleasure to be part of this program to enlighten Cameroonians, especially at this crucial moment that Cameroonians really need to think about the future of this country. And I have said in many occasions that it is time that we actually know that we are the ones to decide whether we are voting Cameroon into paradise or we are voting that we remain in bondage. So it's a pleasure. I want to greet all the televiewers of my Media Prime that are watching us at this moment in and abroad of the country, and I want to thank you very much again for this invitation. It's a pleasure.
Also in the studio, we are joined by social media and our media content, also someone that manages our social media platforms, and also a journalist with us here. Teta Fuzo is here with us, and a political analyst. Thanks for joining us. Happy Sunday.
Thank you, Tamai Jarvis, and special greetings to the televiewers of My Media Prime TV. It's an honor for me to be here today. I thank you, Tamai Jarvis. This week, since the convocation of the electorate body, the social media space has been hitting opinions left and right. Everybody is dropping his own opinion, argument, but then it shows that October 12th is going to be a day not to forget in Cameroon.
Thank you very much. Also, I want to wish you, especially those who are watching us on social media and different platforms, happy Sunday. And happy Sunday to you, my friend, brother, and Mr. Nyam Robert. Happy Sunday to you and your wife. Happy Sunday to you also, Padi Asanga Dambana Sense. And I knew that if you were to be in the program, you would have also said happy Sunday to your Day0 in Hamburg, in Germany. And happy Sunday to all those of you watching us in Kwakwanake, Bole, Kiliwindi. Happy Sunday to those of you watching us in Emwa, Atong, Oshenji, Kwankun. Happy Sunday to you watching us also in the far north region of Cameroon, watching us in Kulufata. Happy Sunday to you, and those of you watching us in Ebolowa, and the list continue. Happy Sunday to all those of you who have been contributing to the program since the actual conveying of the electoral body by President Paul Biya. The nation has constantly moved in a very, very, very active political scene, and the Minister of Territorial Administration, Paul Atanganji, has actually warned that journalists ought to be objective and shun away from divisive tendencies, and journalists are supposed to bring about panelists that look at ideas and not personalities. And that was Minister Paul Atanganji. He said that the same mouth that takes you to paradise, that same mouth can take you to hell, and that hell exists. It is with that we kickstart today's edition of our program. I begin with you, Mr. Elonge Ekalele. You are someone that have been observing the Cameroon political landscape. We'll start with the first topic, which is looking at the 25 aspirants have deposited their documents. When you look at the way in which aspirants are depositing their document, does this raise a concern for you as a senior citizen?
First of all, again, thank you. I've been traveling. Unfortunately, my family, most of them don't even know I'm around. So if they're watching, that's how I come to Cameroon and do what I'm supposed to do and leave. Talking about, first I traveled from Yaoundé to meet Master Tok Tok yesterday, and I had to go somewhere, spend the night to appear here. And while traveling, I was listening to all conversations that people were holding in the buses and the cars that I rode. And most people would say, I hope they not rig this election again. So there's already this flame spreading like fire in a harmattan, wildfire in a harmattan, that if the election does not go the way I want it to go, I will say that it's been rigged, it's been stolen. Secondly, about the 25 candidates, as far as I'm concerned, it's very, very appalling that you have people who think of having or bringing change to the country, and they say they want to form an opposition party, and we do have 25 people on the list, though they might eliminate some of them, but it does not matter.
And some will add tomorrow. Eh?
Some will add tomorrow. In other words, when it comes to popularity contest, CPDM has already won, because no candidate or any other party is known as far as CPDM. I am apolitical.
Yeah.
I do not endorse.
You are giving an objective view.
That is an objective view. For those who really wanted a change, those who are saying, we have Kamto, we have OC, we have Akaremuna, we have, the list goes on, we have all this. Are you telling me that if these people were serious to have change, don't you think they would have merged this party from the beginning and start looking forward to merge their viewers, merge their listeners, merge their followers, and then campaign on one person? Now, the thing that you see all these candidates, it's just greed. Everybody wants to be a leader. Everybody wants to be somebody, okay? So my opinion is that if your door is broken in the house and you brought in a repairman to repair that door, instead of giving you a stronger, better door, you came in, he has replaced that door with a window. What would you say? What are you going to say? So as far as I'm concerned, I mean, I had privy to have a conversation with you, and it's the same thing I said. I don't think these people are willing to have a change. If they're not willing, I'm sorry. That's what's going on.
Now, I want to also stay with you. You have raised this issue. Now, there's a kind of frustration among those Cameroonians who really need change. They say the opposition have been accusing the ruling party of not listening to the demands of Cameroonians. But now the same Cameroonians, since before the convening of the electoral body, have been calling on opposition coalition. All of the opposition keep telling them that they don't need a coalition to defeat President Pobia. Are they not worse than the person they have been accusing of?
That is what I say. If you replace your broken door with a window, you are harming yourself. Look, everybody will complain. I don't care who runs the country. Whether it's me, whether it's you, or whether the rest of the panelists, you'll have people who will complain about your government. Yes, indeed. I personally have complained about a lot of things with the CPDM, and I made a statement the other day that what this country needs are supervisors. We don't need ministers anymore. We need Secretary of State for Agriculture, Secretary of State for Mining, Secretary of State, because they will not just stay in Yaoundé. They have to be everywhere. Okay, for instance, yesterday in Masatoktok, I told him that most of the documents that our politicians from this side of the country, whenever you hear Adigo Yaoundé, those documents, they go talk to the ministers or they go talk to the secretariat. What happens is those documents are in the secretariat. I'll give you an example, like tourism. Let's say, let me pick tourism. If you go to Atlantic Beach Hotel, if you go to Mountain Hotel, where I've been lodging for the longest time, okay, you will see that people who are working there does not even represent the people who live in the area. So I did ask a question. Why is it that the Minister of Tourism has the audacity to handpick a night watchman, handpick a cook, or handpick, you name it, in a hotel? Why is it that a hotel, you have a manager who you say, okay, this is a Southwesterner, running the hotel? Why is it that this manager cannot recruit,
cannot be given the powers
to recruit his own people? Now, the point I'm making here is that I said, and I've written about this, I've spoken about this, I want the government, any government that comes to power, to help some of us who are working without pay in this country. As I told some of the DOs and SDOs, that we do more work than them. They have regions. We're looking in a global nation, okay? They have to help us ease this things, I mean, the topics going on. These people are just sending their people here. Please help us, just relieve that. Give our people
autonomy.
A reason, not even autonomy. Autonomy is a word that has a
complex
lot of connotations, yes, and things like that. Give the people, if Elonge is responsible to run this place, give me the opportunity to be able to recruit my workers.
That will meet your needs.
That will meet the needs, that will meet the experience, that will meet everything that requires for that job or the business to move forward. Cameroonians, especially those of us from this region, are sick and tired when a minister just stays in Yaoundé and keeps imposing. That's wrong.
So you say we need secretaries of states.
We need secretary of states that will. First of all, I'll give you another example.
Like in Kenya have secretaries.
I give you another example. Look at all the accidents happening along our narrow roads here. Have you ever seen the governor or the SDO go visit one of these sites? Have you ever heard the Minister of Transportation make a statement on all those people who are dying like dogs on the streets?
We have some few cases that they have actually visited.
I would like to, I am somebody
yes, we have had some few cases that they have actually visited. But like you said, not all the cases.
I think it's mentioning of the fact that what do the ministry do after to the families?
After that, to the families, after cautioning, do you even caution the drivers? Do you even appear on national television and say, listen guys, sorry for what is happening, this is what we're going to do, I will make sure that we have a better check on the roads, on the streets, we'll control the speed and things like that. So let me throw it back to you, sir.
Okay, thank you very much. We'll come back to you. Mr. Asia, 25 aspirants already deposited. You go with Mr. Elonge, point that these persons ought to have come together and that we should not replace window by putting doors by putting windows.
Thank you, Mr. Jervis. Not that I'm not with him, but I want to say, when I look at it, I first of all say these are indications, like I've been saying here, of political immaturity. You see, politics like that has maturity when it comes to political parties. Therefore, the reason why we have many of them is because they don't know. Many of our political parties don't know where they are going to, and therefore their political party, every politician in Cameroon is only looking at it today, then it will result to this. Because in the first place, when a political party is formed, it needs some time to mature. And therefore, you cannot say you form a political party yesterday and at the same time you are aiming at it today. What have you done at the ground level that will convince people to vote you? And that is why I'll buy with him that if you look at it, what we are seeing, automatically we are giving a certain political party an edge, because if it comes to representation in all the regions, a certain political party is already there. But I want to say, Mr. Jervis, we already have what we have, and I think the 25 persons, like you likely said in the introduction, they have just handed in their documents. They have not been approved as presidential candidate, and therefore we still have time. After when we will have the number that has been approved by ELECAM, I think, or the Constitutional Council, then we'll come now to ask ourselves what will be which of these parties will be convincing for Cameroonians to actually see that come October 12th.
Will that not be late? Like he said, that we ought to begin.
It will be late, but we are going to do what we have, because Mr. Jervis, there is no way we cannot go back. The political parties are already there, and that's why I'm saying that it's like a competition that we are going in. I said we should not be singing political parties' name, but we should be singing what the party's manifesto has for the country. And I think that will be the watchword of those who will be coming in. If they come in 20, it does not mean that each 20, their political manifesto will be convincing to Cameroonians that they will be confused. That's why if you look at what is there, they have said that some people, if you don't have right up to 5% of vote, I mean, 30 million will not be refunded. It means that automatically we know that there are some political parties that have come in, they have deposited their document that I have termed all the time I come here. I term them political distractors. Or those that wants to, there are some that are there, we know the game that is there. In the final analysis, they will shy away from it.
It is even alleged that some other parties are selling their nominations to candidates for 35 million.
We already know these things. And so what I feel should be our watchword, what Cameroonians, that's why I've said Cameroonians this time, we don't need a campaign that will come up that people stay only in maybe particular places to campaign on television. It should be one-on-one campaign this time. It should be a campaign that the politicians should convince us with a good political manifesto. If not, like my brother has said on the other side, we will be replacing a door with a window. That is very correct. Though it becomes I don't see the problem, Mr. Davis, because some people were saying that why is it that a certain political party has accepted the candidature of but that is what they have. That is their candidate. They have been singing the glory of that candidate. And do you think that political party was supposed to give another person? And that's why you have said one political party has sent in 2 candidates. Yes. It becomes a problem. It therefore means within that political party there are some squabbles that we may not know, and therefore it gives those who are coming in as the opposition a chance now to convince people that even internally there is a problem. And if there is a problem internally, therefore we have the advantage now to say we use this and maybe come in. So what I feel is politicians, they should take time. Their manifesto, what they have for Cameroonians should be convincing, because that is what will help. Like I said in the introduction, the 12th October elections will either be Cameroonians voting for another doom or voting to be in heaven. Maybe I end there for now.
Fuzu, before I go to Elonge, you have been monitoring the social media space. This 25 aspirants depositing the document. What is the social media saying?
I think most David, I would say most people on social media are disappointed. Yeah, looking at the numbers, they are kind of disappointed with support what Mr. Elonge has been saying. They were hoping for a coalition because they keep asking, there's so many candidates depositing. If ELECAM actually validate their candidacy, do each run as individual or they still have hopes for a coalition? Because they are disappointed. I think they are disappointed, but they still a little hope. They hope the opposition parties or the independent candidate, they come back to their senses. I don't know if they are coming back to their senses or they are killing the ego and walking forward for the betterment of Cameroonians, because Cameroonians have been singing since this year open that it's only coalition that will help them. Because when you look at it, let's be truthful, when you look at it, which political party has 1/3 of the representatives at the National Assembly? Which of them? Most, and the ones there are some. I think the highest, the political party that is the biggest in noise making. I don't want to tell me noise making or whatsoever does not even have a seat in the parliament, nor a councillor, nothing. That's already a proof to tell you that, Mr. Jarvis, they will hate this truth. That's already a proof to say that when you go back now to the grassroots, they don't have representatives in the polling stations. They will not have.
We have 25,000 polling station, not talk about the polling
when
cells.
You ask them now the question that do you have representative at these various polling stations, they will tell you ELECAM has not released a list of polling stations for them to know. Estimate to know that
based
I have this. Based on previous elections, you estimate that okay, in regard to previous elections, I already have this number of people that can represent me in this particular polling station. One more thing again. When you look at the social, people keep asking, okay, who are we voting?
Now that this man has joined this one, now that this one is saying this one, who are we actually voting? All of you are presenting good plans, but then the supporters are divided. This one is saying I'm endorsing this one. This one is saying I'm endorsing this one. Is it that there's a way that when you people will go to the election and they give the result, you will join your result? Because Cameroonians are confused. There are so many questions they are asking themselves. Okay, some will come outside and say, I think there's a candidate who came out on social media. He proposed a coalition. Then he said for this coalition to be effective, he needs to be the leader of that coalition. And that same opposition leader, the opposition leader, he recently published a video of one of his members on a panel on a TV set, explaining that a certain coalition came to him and asked him to join the coalition, but then they told him that as he is joining, he should know that this particular person is the one going to be leading the coalition, so he should know that his place is behind, and he wasn't happy with that. Whereas that's the same ideology they both share to lead the coalition if any happens. I think there's already this thing of self-ego. Some believe that they are already chosen by God to be the change that Cameroonians want, whereas that's not what the people want, Jarvis. I read thousands of comments every day. Cameroonians are desperate of change. When you post an excerpt from a politician, and they will say yes, it's good, but then you should form a coalition. I think it's ego. The day I think when did Apostle Ambe said he dropped out and he's going to support the SDF, people were like, wow, that's good, some other people should follow this initiative. That was on a Thursday. Yes, people were happy that yes, other people should open up and say this kind of things. Yes, I've abandoned the race, I will support this man so that we can see how we can. That's what Cameroonians are waiting. I bet if this candidate wake up tomorrow and they tell Cameroonians that yes, we are presenting this single candidate, Jarvis, this regime will adopt new strategies to make sure there will be a problem.
Briefly, before I move to Panelist, how would they do this? Because as it stands now, some of them have paid the 30 million caution.
Yeah.
Some of them have paid. So why paying this caution where you can just come to a coalition and just is the payment of this caution not an indication that I am not in favor of a coalition?
Mr. Tama Jarvis, I wouldn't say that because they keep telling us we hope they have I think they have less than 13 weeks.
Same strategy.
Yes, they have less than 13 weeks to decide if they want to save Cameroonians as they say or not, because the more they delay, the more the person they want to defeat is working. Because we have to acknowledge the fact that the CPDM is not sleeping. I think since it's quite going to 3 weeks now, Ferdinand Gongo, the Secretary General at the presidency, has been receiving CPDM elite and party allied. Even new parties that they just created yesterday, you don't even know if they have up to 10 members. They have been received at the Unity Palace. I'm taking the example of the party created by the MP that just resigned from the FSNC of Issa Chiruma Bakari. He was received at the Unity Palace. How many people does that person have? But the CPDM did not neglect him. They think if he has only even 10 members, he will be of help. That's one thing that Mr. Elonge said here. When I was following the previous program here, somebody said, Madam Hared said, don't just feel like you are too big. Even if it is DOS, consider him and bring him in. Even if it is who, bring him together so that you unite forces and fight. Some of the opposition people, they deny to form a coalition, claiming that I'm too big, I cannot align behind this person. Even if you are too big, maybe that person you see as small is the person that has the better and most beautiful ideologies to serve this to save this nation. So if you think if you really believe you want to save this nation, you should go and align behind a particular person and help push along. Because they keep mentioning the case of Senegal. This is how Senegal came to, but then do you people know that Sonko had to sacrifice his place for somebody else?
Somebody
else. They don't know that. You want to use the example of, I was disappointed when one of them made an outing in France saying that Senegal's youth came out on the street to protest for change. No. Look at the positive example, the peaceful example that they did behind the scene, and follow it. Know what you are going for. This is not time to We are seeing what is happening in the northern and southwest regions. Since our brothers pick up arms to face the government, we are losing at every end. The gendarmes are dying, and it is creating a problem that will face a lot of difficulties to solve in the future. The young ones, the boys that they call them the boys who pick up arms, they are dying in the community. We are turning and killing ourselves. This is not time to encourage a revolt in the country, because the country is facing a lot of armed conflict in the north, in the south. There's problem everywhere. It is not time to be counting on the revolution to bring change in this Cameroon. You have all the clear chances. The opposition should come and be one, and Cameroonians are ready to support you guys for that.
Okay, Mr. Elonge wanted to react.
Yeah, I'm very very happy to see young people like you all getting into politics analysis and things like that, because you are the future generation to lead this country. And one of the saddest thing I can say on this panel here today is that young people are already defeated. Young people think they don't have any hope, think they don't have anything. Let me go back to one of my colleagues in this panel said about educating people. You do not educate people with your ideologies or your policies or your memoranda in 20 days.
Yeah.
This is something that would have started earlier. This is something that you would have put in front of the people. This is something that you would have come to the press and say, from now on, this is my memorandum for the party they are merging with. So for those of you who are my followers, this is remember what we had. We are merging this together, and then we have together chosen a leader to head this coalition. Good? Yes. The most important is I don't know. I think you, Mr. Jarvis, should give an open invitation to any candidate who is running to come and sit in this studio with you and a couple of other journalists, and let them tell the public why they are running in office. First of all, we don't have debates.
Presidential debates.
We don't have presidential debates. We only have, you just saw the program that we saw how everybody was just like yelling towards one another. Oh, no, this
So
and
they
that.
have primaries. Fiscal
We don't have
that
primaries. We don't have the stage to even educate our...
You don't even have caucus. You don't even have town halls.
Political immaturity. Yes, I agree with that phrase. I do agree with it. But how do we change it? And the only way, I think, after every election, no matter how whether it favors us or not, whether it favors my group, your group, their group, or not, and we believe that we can do better next time, we should start from the grassroots. Start writing about what we stand for, what we're going to do for the people in the next elections. Let people start talking when they're drinking in off licenses, when they're drinking in bars. That's how you communicate to the people. Now, these people are just like, okay, now my countryman, I'll go vote for him. Oh, this man, I hear him one time, we ain't come one village, I will go vote for him. That is not educating the people. You on social media, I pity you, because I know what is written on social media. I know what people are saying. It's not throwing insults to people. It's not asking people whether they are young, old, middle age, or things like that. That does not help you the debate. What are you going to do if you are elected to be president? Tell us, explain to us, come to convince us. Come to Jarvis's show. Say, come. You will not. You don't even charge them. Say, come and sit here.
And take
Talk,
Cameroonians.
yes, tell Cameroonians. Open up the phone lines. Let people call them and ask them questions. All this tribalism and nepotism and whatever we have is not going to be if we start exposing ourselves, start exposing some of these candidates, start letting them know that the people they want them to vote for, they must speak directly to them. Not be saying when time don't come, you go give man back rice, and then you say, oh, now my village this, make I go give them cow.
In our village power,
Huh? My village power vote for una, vote for this. That is what you are saying, sir, and I agree with you. That is the immaturity that of educating our people that we like.
Now, let me. You have raised a very important issue, Mr. Elonge, which is also the issue of the political message, the man of delivery.
Yes.
You raised an issue that 20 days is small. Now, when we look at what is happening in other countries, let us take the United States, for example.
Okay.
When Trump lost in 2020,
Yes.
he did not sit.
Yeah.
He was moving. He had a serious revolt movement back to back.
Yes.
The same thing in 2016 when Hillary Clinton lost. The Democrats had their train back to back. Biden was on the train back to back. The same thing we are now witnessing in Nigeria. Peter Obi lost in 2022. He has been moving from back to back since the 2018 presidential election in Cameroon. Where have our political class been?
And that is exactly, sirs, here on this panel. That's what I am talking about. We have to become a little bit mature. We have to educate our, what do you call them, our citizens about why voting is even important. In most countries, from the day the election is over, that's when people pick up their political arms and start going to the public, saying, you see what they're doing something wrong. Okay, when we come in, this is what we're going to do. You educate the people to that point of elections when they have to make that choice, whether to vote for you, for me, or the rest of the people. And I think, I really think, apart from CRTV, which personally I don't want to see candidates go for debates there. I want to see some of these, like your station here, other stations around, bring those candidates.
We do. They unfortunately they don't. Most of them don't come for.
Don't worry about
few
it.
of them
Write to them. Have something to show the public that I have sent an email, and this is the email I sent to this candidate. Say, could you please come talk to us and educate your constituency what you're going to do. You don't just sit back and say, oh, well, they don't want to talk to us. Let the public know that they don't want to come and explain themselves. Either they're hiding something, either they're just there to joke around, either they're just there for greed, either they're just there for, I mean, that's my opinion.
Now, before I move to Mr. Asia, I want to stay briefly with you. But let us go in retrospect. By 1992 presidential election, just few, I'm sure you and Mr. Asia were very active. Myself, I was around 2 years old. Mm-hmm. But when you look at the 1992 and you look at now, mm-hmm. Are we serious now as compared to 1992, or 1992 was better in terms of the political maturity?
To me, I don't think it matters, because the world evolves and people do evolve with the world.
Yes, in the evolution. So, are we instead evolving positively?
We are not. I think our politicians are evolving backwards. In other words, keeping their constituency in this vacuum, just say because I know you, because now
we'll come up for the same region.
We'll come up for the same region. So this is so. If the politicians were serious, if the candidates we've just mentioned here, those who are remaining, that window, say you're going to use that window to educate your followers is absolutely nonsense. That's not enough. That's not what we want. The evolution I want to see here is, and it doesn't start from somebody like me, it starts from all of you who are panelists here. This is what you do. You are here in the media prime. You keep the conversation going even after elections. No, don't bring people here who will just be shouting. And the last thing I want to say, nobody says anything to me without giving me a proof. Don't come here when I interview you. You say, oh, this happened, this happened. Show me where I can go in the internet. Show me what paper. Show me a book that I can go read.
The receipts.
Say this. Show me the receipt of these things. So this our verbal, I call it verbal diarrhea in politics, has to stop.
Mr. Asia, you wanted to react.
I was just to react to what he is saying. You see, he is from a very political matured area, and we are still moving towards that stage in most countries in Africa, and that's why when you see, if you want to compare the 1992 elections with what is happening, you will see that we are far way behind. Because the fact that, you see, I have said here that when we create a political party, what is the objective? Because first of all, the objective should not be, you should have a particular thing that you want to convince the people that you feel tomorrow you may have a greater population. Therefore, the objective should not be only added to the, you must first of all start maybe with the council, with the base, and that is what is lacking. If you look around 1992, even though the politics cannot much talk about it, it was that everybody was behind somebody. Because we had a charismatic opposition leader that actually moved from
there was a coalition.
There was a coalition, Union for Change. There was an alliance because there was that need. Every Cameroonian felt that no, we really need a change. But today, because of the fact that some politicians are egoistic, like we have all said here, I am totally for that. But we should not fail also to understand that there is a system that is put in place that has also used a game of creating other political party in order to make people feel that we have opposition. Meanwhile, real behind the scene, there are not opposition parties.
It is called politics, sir.
It
is called politics.
That is, I'm talking, sir. That is why I have said this should not be a point of focus, or it should not distract Cameroonians. Now, who are we to rally behind? Do we feel we are rallying behind those that are in power? Yes, they should be able to convince us to understand why we should continue to be with them. I think that is what I feel Cameroonians should understand. If they say, yes, we have said we want to continue this thing, they should make us be convinced, because the problems are there. Jervis, we have problems of road, we have problems of unemployment, electricity, all the problems are there. And if you tell us that you want to continue with this problem that we are seeing, and then we want to support you, I mean, you should be convincing enough. The same with the opposition parties. They should be able to tell Cameroonians that as I am coming in, this, give me, for example, I want to quote an example of Akeremuna. He has been able to tell Cameroonians that as I am coming in, give me a period of 5 years. And if I come in within these 5 years, all this that I'm promising, unemployment, this and that, the pay of, how do they call it? The minimum wage rate will be changed from this to this. In a period of 5 years, if I don't do this, you send me out of office. The mandate of the presidency will be changed. I think these are some of the things that Cameroonians want to hear. It's not about those that are, the people that are in power, like my brother has said on the other side. We don't have a problem with them. But the problem is, we have problems in Cameroon that need to be solved. And we need people that can come in and solve this problem. The Anglophone problem of Cameroon, how long has it lasted? For more than 8 years.
That's the second topic.
And if somebody is coming in, it should give us tangible methodology that is going to use, and we will rally behind him to see that peace reign in the northwest and southwest regions of Cameroon. I think these are the things that we need. We don't need people to sit in offices and then tell us that this we already know. No, Mr. Jervis, Cameroonians, I have said, to me, it's my personal opinion, let us know that these elections that are coming, they are so crucial with the future of this country. And we, the politicians that feel we want to come in, or those who are in power, we should try to take things serious.
Can I say? Yes. Can I just say? Can I please say something? First of all, when it comes to unemployment, I don't care that candidate who comes and say I'm going to solve that problem. He's lying to the people.
That's true.
Look at Cameroon today. How many companies does it have? In other parts of the world, it's not the government that employs people. It's industries. So I would have suggested, I would have listened to somebody who came and told me that when I become president, I will make sure I subsidize some of these companies that are struggling so that I expand their businesses so that I can employ my university graduates, so that I can do X, Y, Z. Mr. Muna is not going to solve these problems. Nobody is going to sit there and boast that, okay, I am going to employ all high school students, all university students, they are going to have a job.
But that's why, not cutting you, that is why I am saying,
give him.
Yeah, that's why I am saying, I'm not saying, the problem of unemployment, we know how it can be solved, and we know how most of the industries in Cameroon, they have gone bankrupt. And
why you say we know it? That's your point of view. That's not what we are.
I'm talking about my point of view.
Yes, I know what the politicians.
But that is why we are saying that a politician that is coming in should be able to tell us that we are going to maybe bring back some of these industries. Maybe we are going to create industries. Maybe we are going to revamp industries. That is what I'm saying.
Sir,
it's my own take.
If I can take back the floor in my time too.
Yes.
Okay. This is a problem. We have, you hear people say, that man get degree at the ride Okada. That woman get degree at the bone fish.
That one get degree work for mobile money.
They work for mobile money. All the companies that were created in countries that we face today started with businesses like this. With your education, that broadens your horizon. You will be the one to know that if I have one Okada today, I know in 5 years I'll have one or two, and somebody will be employed to ride on those bikes because you will not be able to. So this, our mentality is what is destroying us. Our mentality, or Master, don't come to university, or I not get work at the go burn a fish. We don't have parastatal jobs to offer to these students. So my encouragement to anyone who is running is that how do you improve the mom and pop store, the woman who is burning fish on the side of the road, the woman who is selling have an off license, the woman who is doing, how do we improve that rather than we taxing them to the teeth, making them fear when they see you us coming? No. How do we improve that? How do we keep the environment within ourselves clean? How do we improve the health status of these women who are selling food, who are burning fish, who are, because that is what goes into our health. Food is what goes into our health.
It's not about saying that you come and stop youth from doing bikes.
You cannot stop.
You cannot resolve the problem of.
Yeah, I've not said we are. We are coming to stop people from doing certain things.
No, we are not saying that.
I totally agree with what we are saying. It's like we are saying the same thing in other words, because we are saying that there are problems that we have, and the person that is coming in should be able to tell us or convince Cameroonians on how we can give immediate or long-term solutions to these problems.
Just very briefly.
Yes.
The reason I said all the things I said was because we talked about a candidate who says, I am going to stop unemployment. That candidate in the face value is lying to everybody.
Yeah.
that candidate is lying.
That's what most of them have been saying.
Because the government cannot. The government of Cameroon cannot employ all university students. That is why we must create independent schools. We must create, facilities, okay, that will measure up with these degrees that these students are having. And on the last point, I want to, I think when democracy is forced on us.
Yeah.
We are students of democracy. But sometimes we pick and choose what we want to do. Okay? And to me, that is absolutely wrong. Okay. Let me give you an example. No candidate has come in front of Mr. Jarvis and said, if you give me the chance, I will make sure that the common man who is lifting bags of cement every day, I will improve their lives. What we have done, we have created a society, the haves and have-nots. We have created a political system where people who are supposed to work for you and I and the common man on the streets, instead we have to fear them. We have to, when they come into this room, we jump up and say, yeah, we that is a society that we've created. And any candidate who will come to this studio and say, I'm going to improve the life, don't worry. The majority of the people who are going to vote, first of all, don't even understand this grammar that we speak here.
Yes, of course.
Yeah. They don't understand this language.
Yes, the message.
Huh? They don't understand this language. Most of them now in the villages are only waiting, okay, time to come, they can't give us...
Some don't even know that this particular party is existing.
They don't know anything about the party. But they just say, okay, that man come out for Kokoboma, come out for Kumbe, make a vote for him because I'm a countryman. He can't give me rice. That's all they know about the party. How do we educate the common man on the street?
We don't even have town halls here.
Huh? We don't have town halls.
We don't have town halls.
Huh? That's why I talked about supervisors. All we need is supervisors. You go to people's offices, you go to SDOs, GOs offices. It's like you have to worship. You go to hospitals. You worship a doctor who is working for you. And you see mothers sitting there for the longest time. You see people sitting there, oh, they're not the same with this. That's absolute nonsense. If we had somebody to supervise them, for them to know that that's your job and you are working for the people. Okay? The last thing I want to say, sir, is that when you drive along, you hear people say, they don't give money for this man, make a fix this part of the road, they don't chop them. Okay? Where is show us the person who received that money. Show us the person who received that money. They say, no, if I show them, they will kill you.
They will kill me.
They will kill me. That's the mentality.
That's the talk that we hear.
That's it.
Okay? And there is also a myth that we hear, and which before coming to Fozo, which I want us to really make Cameroonians to understand is like they will tell you that this party don't come very soon. When they will vote, they will add their vote, go sell them. They will add their vote with this party, go sell them. There is nothing as that in politics in Cameroon. Nobody sells vote. The only time you can come into alliance is before the election. Once a vote is a ballot is casted, once that is casted, you can never transfer it. You cannot take it from party A and party B, because that's what I hear from social media and the quarter. No money party. What will go for the now smarter, they'll take their vote add with this one. They don't add vote in Cameroon.
That's true.
They don't add vote. That is but sadly, that is the message. Like Mr. Elonge was saying, how many political class take this to educate the people? And sadly, they push this narrative that there is one no winner because this party because say a vote. They push this narrative. But the same them come back and say, oh, vote for us, one change. How do you want change when you go and push the narrative discouraging people from voting? Let me take on some messages before coming to you, Fozo. Sorry, this one says, good afternoon, Mr. Jarvis, and all the members in the panel. First, I want to commend Mr. Elonge. I really enjoy his profound expression filled with wisdom. There is no need for any manifesto at this time. The only manifesto Cameroonians aspire for is the removal of the president, Paul Biya, and the current establishment, nothing more. When Mr. Paul Biya, for his desire, moved to Vomeka, we will then look at social economic issues. But for now, the opposition have failed because of greed, ego, and selfishness. There is no need to dream of any change. The CPDM is winning fatly with this current trend of opposition. Divine writing from Boya. This one right, this is good afternoon to you, Abakwa boy, and the panelists in the house. Let's not forget that CPDM is working so hard to make sure they maintain power by making sure that even in the opposition party, they inject somebody that will always slow down the party in one way or another, coming up with parties that looks like opposition. The reason why it is impossible to have a good coalition: government money is CPDM money, Southwest and Northwest is CPDM. Comes October, you know why. Okay. I think I'll have to ask those questions to my panelists. This one is this is from Sinach. It says Sinach says, hello, happy Sunday. Luciana, sorry if I don't pronounce the name correctly, writing in Belinda. Most of these politicians in Cameroon that they are put their names in elections, Cameroon, most of them don't even know what they are doing for the what they are doing. For my motivation, most of them, they are out there to deceive people, because a person cannot put his name in election Cameroon that he wants to stand as a president. Then at the same time, he is saying that they should vote the ruling party, that the ruling party is the correct one. I wonder, okay, as more of us, the youth that we are asking for change, you still go and still stand in block and change not. How can you ask for change at the same time 40 million francs to support the ruling party? God help us. Okay, this other one is happy Sunday. Happy Sunday to everyone in this house. I love the topic. Power from America, please. You have just a lot to help Cameroon come out of this mess. You have just a lot to help Cameroon come out from this mess. This is Tanto Edward writing from Douala.
I can't do it, sir.
This other one is
you're already doing it.
Happy Sunday. I love the way Mr. Elonge is putting his point. These are the kind of panelists that can make you to go and vote. Unfortunately, he's coming very late when most of us have not registered, because if he had said this, some of us would have been registered. This is the kind of politics we need in Cameroon, not shouting politics, accusing left and right. Tell us what you can do. He has made me understand that the government cannot employ everybody, and I understand, which is true. This is the thing that I used to think, that the government can employ everybody, but unfortunately the government cannot, based on his explanation. It means that all these candidates and guests, people telling us that they will solve employment problem.
Thank you.
Briefly, sir, move to Fuzo.
No, move to him.
No, briefly, it may escape you.
You see, first of all, those comments, I am not here to inspire or change anybody's mind. I'm just here expressing my opinion. If you feel that that opinion would help you or destroy you, that's how you put it in yourself. My thing that I will want to inform anyone who is listening to this is, until we, the people, take back that power, until we, the people, understand that the people who work for us, the senior divisional officer works for you, the DOs work for you, the police officers work for you, the doctors in hospitals work for you. When you are late in rendering that service, when you must hold them accountable Ask them, why is somebody sitting in the hospital bench for 3 days? Go and come, go and come. He has not seen a doctor. And this applies, I don't care who wins the election. The only thing I care about
is the services,
services that must be rendered. And anyone who comes to this panel and tell you, or this studio, or these topics, that I am going to solve the problem of unemployment, ask that person, where do you start? Where do you start?
That's true.
Fuzo, reaction.
Pardon?
Quick reaction.
Yeah, Jarvis, as we have been discussing here, Mr. Elonge has said a lot of things, a lot of meaningful things that we keep realizing, but the people concerned, they don't want to pay focus on it. They don't want to, as I earlier said, you go, there are some villages in the suburb that they don't even know that some of these political parties agitating here don't exist.
Yeah.
Yes, you talk to a mother, she'll ask you that passing Funzi becomes, so some other man don't come again. Yeah, they believe it's only one person left. They believe there is only one person left. So some of these mothers,
they don't even know that this merging that are going on have been merged.
Yeah, they don't know. Some of these mothers back home, they don't even know
what on the TV. Don't mention the
back
TV.
Then, when we grew up in the village, I explained yesterday, when in those days I was still a young child, in those days of the 2000s, when the SDF was really still active somehow, you see they spend time educating mothers that when you enter, this is the ballot box you take, it has this color, this is the person standing on it. Or during municipal election now, you look, most mothers, they always say the balance. Yeah. You go to the village, they always say that, okay, we are going to vote for that man that brought the balance to measure things equitably in the market. Yeah. You know, they develop things. But the new opposition coming up, when you explain it to a mother, she does not understand. She will ask you that, who is it? Whereas that wing of people and the youth in the rural areas, those are the people you should focus on, because most of them, they don't know these things that you see on TV.
And those are the people that actually go and vote.
Those are the people who go and vote.
Youth in general.
Yes.
Whether the villages, whether the towns, whether the cities, exactly those are the people we must focus on. My generation has failed. I think I'm the first one to admit that. My generation has failed. And your generation, you all sitting in this, should not fail. And the only way you are not going to fail is if you start standing up, not be afraid to ask questions. Ask questions. You know, or if I ask, go for this man in office, asking question, I go slap. If I slap you,
that is where I was coming.
If I slap you, there are agencies, there are departments where, for instance, rents. Let's talk about rents. Yes. Let's talk about housing. Has anyone spoken about how those who are not building all these mansions, like the one we are sitting in today, has anyone spoken about how he is going to improve their lives? Nobody talks about that. Nobody talks about that.
Those who don't have mansions.
You have, and they're the majority. Okay? You go to somebody who has built something. You have 20 people living there, one toilet, one bathroom. And then the landlord has the audacity to come and starts yelling at them. They stand on a line to go. Why don't we put policies? No, sir. Why don't we put policies that if this is happening, this is a department we have to go and complain about. But even if you go complain in this department, you go here, that man get money, he go bribe.
That's a problem. That's one of the major problems
which is true. What you are saying, you are very correct. But the major problem we have is, instead of these people that they are there to serve us, we serve them.
Yeah.
But if you, for example, how is the human right in Cameroon respected? Well, these are places that the human rights are well respected, but I think in Cameroon is not the case. For example, it is, but
the issue
at some point, at some point, Mr. Jarvis, when we say it is there, but we should understand that at some point we cannot actually enjoy that human right. At some point, there are situations that we can pose questions like you are saying, but do we have that courage? We don't have, because we at times we are bullied For example, the fear comes in. The first way that a uniform officer will present himself to you is creating panic on you. But instead of let me just land. For example, you are coming back late at night, right, Mr. Jervis, and I think the rule of the uniform officer is to secure you there. But what happens is the contrary. The first thing is that they ask you of your ID card. And if you don't have, the next thing is your detention. They carry you for detention, or
but that's what the law says. But that's what the law says. Let's not. That's what the law says. That if you don't have an ID card,
the law says if you don't have an ID card, it's a crime. We totally accept.
Yes.
But what is the rule of the police officer to you? Is he there to protect you?
Very briefly, very briefly, sir. We always talk about human rights. That is why one of these days I would like Mr. Agbobala to sit opposite with me, and I want him to define the human rights that he is talking about. Okay? When we talk about human rights, we don't know that feeding your people is a human rights that must be met.
Good.
When we talk about human rights, we don't talk about housing that it must be met to the people. When we talk about human rights, we don't know that drinking water, that electricity that comes that we don't have. But your own human rights is when I don't go for road, police ask me. That's what everybody says. Have you been to other countries? You see how the human rights are being
now we are almost. I want us to briefly look at the second topic, but the issue is to like what you were saying, what Power was saying, and I agree with both of you. But there is an issue there which I may disagree briefly with you, because most of the time we don't take the step. Let me quote an example. If you have 10 people in Cameroon, 10 youths, they will tell you that I don't vote because they go Tivam. I know they vote because they go Tivam. Let me ask, you ask them, do you have a voter's card? Only about 3 can show you a voter's card out of the same 10 people I was telling you. Then now you ask of the 3, when did you last vote? They go Tivam.
I mean,
but these are the same people who go and champion and shout,
yes.
Oh, who vote the go Tivam? Go online. How many of those making noise have voters card?
I was disappointed to see a musician of over 30 years saying he's registering to vote for the first time
in his life. But these are the same people who have been having opinion about voting and be saying about voting. So what Pai is saying is that most Cameroonians are hiding behind that so-called fear to say, oh, they say go get money. Have you gone there?
Please, if you don't mind me, Jake. I don't want to talk about that. Whenever you have one of these human rights people sitting in front of you, the first question you ask them is that if you go to places like Kumba, places like Limbe, Enio, takes light at will. It is our right to have electricity because we've brought in a company to supply electricity. Taking the lights off destroys people's refrigerators, people's equipment in the house, companies, equipment. Nobody ever comes and say, comes here as a human rights activist, say all these things. Who compensates them?
You're right there.
No. This is what you should be holding at Bobala. Okay? Now, the human rights he is talking about, the human right is the one that is being sponsored. When next time he comes to your studio, ask him where does he get his money to run his business.
I think he's not able to defend himself.
Yes.
I think now we are.
I am just stating that whenever you have the opportunity, I am not accusing him.
Okay.
I am suggesting to you that human rights, the most important human rights in this world is food. Basic needs.
Okay.
Nobody talks about that.
We are out of time, but briefly, what do we do for the people of the Northwest and Southwest region to actually cast their ballot?
That's a tough one. Because it is not, it is us who deprive our people from casting ballots. No other way about it. It is us. I personally had talked about if you want change, let's go through the voting means. Let's unite. Let's send our people out there to vote. And the last point I'll make about this is that Southwest, Northwest regions cannot put a president on the seat. We have 10 regions. We have 10 regions. If everybody in the Southwest and Northwest voted for one candidate and he does not win parts of other regions, he's never going to be a president.
He may, eh? Given that the electoral figures in 2018, we had about 3 million, just about 3 million voters
where?
in the entire Cameroon.
In the entire country, yeah.
Hold on.
No, I'm going by their
There's a
logic.
lot of
No, I'm going by their logic.
Cameroon.
If we say we capitalize on voter apathy,
yes,
as it is now,
yes.
If most of the people of the North and Southwest who are eligible, according to undeclared census,
yes,
eligible voters in the Northern and Southwest region accumulate to about 7 million eligible voters, 6 to 7 million. Let's say just 3.4 million actively vote. Looking at the voters' apathy that we have now, they may be the swing state.
Well, you've used the word swing. What does swing mean? It means that, okay, so
Fairly,
okay, if I work,
maybe a battleground state.
I will be able to. My point is that in order for a candidate, especially like what Pani John Frondi did, the 10 regions.
Yeah.
If you went to the 10 regions,
He actually.
you will know, you will see, you will feel, you will touch the powers that he had. But our candidates today, maybe they're working, because I've been to some of these regions. My family hasn't even seen me, and they will kill me if they see me here on your show. They say, so this is what this man comes and does, things like that. So it is a great thing, but I would say to you young people, especially you, I feel sorry for you, reading everything in that social media, which again, of course, gives you a thicker skin, gives you the power, gives you the will to push on. And for you young journalists coming up, for you young activists, are you an activist or
Civil society.
Civil society. What is a civil society? A civil society are people who can feed themselves, people who can eat, people who can drink, people who can have clean water, people who can do the common things. We don't hold these people accountable. We don't hold companies. If you supply lights, if you are employed to supply lights, a whole region, a whole town, a town you want to become an industrial town does not even have a transistor. When a transistor blows out, you have to wait 2 weeks before a transistor comes. You don't even have a grid. A grid is where you collect energy. We don't have that.
As we are talking, Munya has been without electricity. Key town in Boya, which is a commercial hub in Boya subdivision, has been without electricity for 4 months. 4 months, and that's a very big voting block and very big town in Boya. Without it will just come.
They were blaming it on the crisis. Before the crisis, it was even worse.
So how do we do quickly? How do we get voter participation?
Yes, like Pa said, it's a tough one. We know what is going on up there. I think the powers that be, we should first of all think about security. How secure are those of the Northwest and the Southwest region when it comes to the elections that are going to come up? I think we should tighten up security because our people need to be safe. And we too of the Northwest and Southwest, I think we should think and know that I've said there are 4 ways that we can change a political, or we can change somebody from power. The first way that I know, which is very natural, is a natural thing that everybody has to go, is maybe you are no more there. That is the first way. The second way I know is what we have at hand now, which is voting. It's political voting. Maybe if the government you don't like it, you vote it either to go out or to maintain. Another way is what we say, what maybe military people can say, okay, we want to come in now and see how we can implement our own style. And the last one is maybe the person says, okay, I see myself not fit again, and maybe I'll resign and give another person to take over. But for now, Mr. Jervis, the only watchword I can say is that life has no duplicate, and therefore we should see that the people of the Northwest and Southwest are safe. And why not, if the worst come to the worst, those areas that the security is not the best, we can relocate their polling stations so that people can vote in those areas of Cameroon with all serenity. Maybe that is my own small intake for now.
Jarvis, this I think the question should be, how should we do to bring peace in the Northwest and Southwest region? Because saying they should vote, how are you going to vote in trouble? How are you going to go out in the house, out from the house? I think the election is on Saturday, and I believe me, on that Saturday it will be a ghost town. How are they going to go out with threat and all the rest? How are they going to move? The question now should be around the security. How can we encourage the situation? How are you even going to, because it's already too late to even convince those imposing those lockdowns to allow the people to go and vote. They keep anybody that shows up and say, okay, he was behind this particular party, they threaten you that we don't want to see you vote here this day, for example. And again, so many of them, from the reactions of people, they keep asking me, bro, who side will go vote for Baminda?
That's it.
Who side will go vote?
But are we not
they really want to vote.
Our own self.
The people really want to vote, but
the
fear of the unknown, we cannot vote.
Just
make a slide with and say, no, tie hard, come on, vote. No, no, I prefer my life.
Yeah.
Yes, they need to protect. I bet you, Tamai Jarvis, I will not encourage somebody in Furawa, somebody in a village governed by let me say, that is under threat from to go out and vote. You go out and vote, then the next day you are dead. I value human life a lot, because what I would say is, anybody in the Northwest and Southwest region, if your area is not secure that day, if you don't feel confident that you go and vote and come and stay in your home safely, stay back at home.
Okay, thank you very much. Thank you, sir, for coming. Any last word?
My last word is that you, the youth, you, the young people, the baton has been handed over to you. Know that fear is something that keeps people always in a closet. And speak out, speak the truth. If somebody harasses you, that's fine. We have people who have been harassed before, but you just have to speak up. And my last advice I'll give you is, please send a letter to some of these candidates and let them come here. And whenever you are interviewing anyone who says has human rights, ask them, what is human rights to them?
Okay.
What is human rights to them? When our people are here hungry every day, when people are here, we go to some cities, there's no water, no running water. Go to some places, then who are the supervisors who are supervising these things? Who goes to Yaoundé and tell, and I bet you, I will make this statement and I'll take the responsibility. You go to Yaoundé, most of these our people who go to Yaoundé to speak, some of their demands align in the minister's secretariat, right there. Sometimes they don't even pass it over to the minister. And who, a president is supposed to have a group that will advise him on things. Tell me if anyone has told the Minister of Energy, Mines and Power, that the electricity company that we have in the Southwest, the Northwest regions is destroying companies. If anyone who has information, whether this has reached Ngongo or this has reached the presidency, please let me know.
Thank you very much. Thank you, gentlemen. Thank you for coming. It's been a pleasure.
Thank you, Mr. Jervis. It was my pleasure. I hope I will be here again next time if I'm
Next
called.
Sunday.
Okay, if I'm called. Thank you, Mr. Javis. If I'm called next Sunday, I'll be available. Thank you.
Time that we badly need you, and thank you, Mr. Elonge, and of course, Mr. Asia and Tita, who is with us. This program will rebroadcast today at exactly 10:30 p.m. 10:30 p.m. You have a rebroadcast of this program, and the programs will be on our YouTube channel today, probably around 7 p.m. You have a program on our YouTube channels. We have two YouTube channels. We have BT Media Group and My Media Prime YouTube channel. BT Media Group and My Media Prime. Any of them, you have our channels. There are some that you may have some particular programs. There are some that you may have some other particular programs. It's always good to subscribe to those. And this program comes up every Sunday at exactly 12 to 1:30 p.m. And until we meet again, no matter the matter, what matters is your matter. And what should matter for you is that stay out of trouble. My name is Tamai Jarvis. Come on, Commercial Capital. Until we meet again, bye-bye.